Gundam style, everybody, and welcome back to Wow, Cool Robot. I'm Jake. I use the he/him pronouns, and I'm joined, as always, by Max.
Hello, my voice cracked. I'm Max, and I also use he/him pronouns. Gundam.
This week we had some fun ones, huh?
Okay, but before we get into it, I gotta say, today I was able to purchase some limoncello La Croix. This is the best shit there is. Fucking goodbye hibiscus La Croix. It's limoncello for me, baby. You into this stuff at all, Jake?
In that I will drink it if somebody else has it, but I never really go out of my way to purchase any.
That's valid.
But I will definitely check that out.
I think it might only be at Target, because I believe hibiscus is also only at Target. But also, it tastes like lemon jello. So...
Ooh.
And I know that's confusing because it's limoncello, tastes like lemon jello, but it's the good shit.
I really want that now. I really, really want that.
Yeah, dog, it is. I was like, wow, I wonder if this holds up to the hype. And I took one sip, and I was like, oh, yes, it does. I took one sip, and I became the soup. And I'm a new type now, and it's all thanks to La Croix. And you can too.
I have ascended.
You can too. These are episodes that were fun. And we're going to have a fun time talking about them.
And this time, we mean it.
We fucking mean it. A lot happens. Some things that are very sad. Some things that made me jump up and down and hoot and holler like a chimpanzee. And my girlfriend yelled at me because I made too much noise and startled her. I was watching these while I was on the clock at work. So, like, we're in the same office together. And she was just like, what? Jesus Christ, Max. It's funny. Well, she finds it funny after the fact, not as much, in the moment, alas.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah, that's relationships. Well, Jake, how about you tell us about our first episode this week?
All right. Episode 36. Purutu's Descent. Or Pull 2 Under Gravity. It's got a couple of names.
Oh, yeah, Prisoner of Gravity, Pull 2, etc., etc. You get the gist of it.
Eager for a victory, Glimmy awakens Pull 2 from cold sleep in order to destroy the Arkema. Sensing the evil presence of the Psycho Gundam Mark II drawing near, Pull boards the half-disassembled Quebly Mark II to intercept it. However, she finds that both she and the mysterious pilot are able to anticipate each other's attacks perfectly.
It's the fucking Spider-Man pointing meme. But they're both just funny little 10-year-olds. So Jake, do you remember last week when the colony dropped and we were like, oh, that wasn't really so bad?
Yeah, when we were kind of like, is that it?
That was it? That wasn't it.
That was not it at all.
We were fucking deceived. We were bamboozled. They played us like a fiddle. Oh my God.
This was the perfect place to break, because that is
fucking devastating. I'm so glad. Because we discussed this like weeks ago in Discord where, we're gonna take a break for the Lena shit so we can see her die. Put a fucking pin in that part at least. And then Colin and Cass were talking and they were like, oh yeah, you maybe want to take a break between 30, or maybe you don't want to take a break between 35 and 36. But then Colin's like, it'd be funnier if you did. And it's pretty funny. I don't know if funny is the word I'd use.
It made me happy.
Let's be clear. Dublin is fucked. Everything is fucked. Like, the colony dropped fucking successful operation on Hamon's part. Because, oh my God.
I wrote, like, multiple times in my notes, just in all caps, everything is fucked.
That is literally what I wrote too. I wrote, uh-oh, sisters, we were deceived. Everything is fucked. And we'll see this later on, but, like, the effects of this fucking orbital drop reach all the way to Glasgow. Like, it's not like a localized thing. Like, this thing fucked up, like, a third of the British Isles, pretty much. Good God. Actually, if it went... Hold on, let me see. I'm going to do a little bit of I'm going to go to Google Maps, and I'm going to look at the approximate size of the British Isles. The entire damn island. Because if effects of it reached Glasgow from Dublin... Okay, yeah, it blew about, like, I would say 60% of the British Isles.
Hot damn.
It like kind of flooded Glasgow and it didn't, not the same effect as fucking, regardless, I'm going to say the entire island of Ireland and Northern Ireland is gone, basically.
Yeah, that's about 250 miles away, and it's still that ain't
I mean, it fucking checks out. That's what I would expect to happen from a colony drop, so they're consistent logic, at least.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, it drops, the explosion happens, and, like, Judo and the gang are, like, violently thrown backwards, and, you know, they, like, can't, like, all the cores are just, like, blasted the fuck away. No one can even control them. Like, the Argama can't take off. And Rakan is here, and Rakan's like, let's continue fighting, fucker. Judo's like, no! Absolutely not right now. Let's not fight.
Yeah, he's like, is this really the best time, sir?
Priorities, my man. I know that you're really happy about your cool war crime, but can I have a minute? Oof.
And, like, he's about to, like, they're about to start fighting because, you know, Rakan's not going to let up. Mm-hmm. And suddenly the rubble that Judo is on, like, resting on, or just kind of bracing himself against, breaks behind him, and they just both get blown away. They just get blasted away by the Force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Force from Star Wars was here. But yeah, fucking, they're all thrown away. The view kind of clears, and again, destruction, horrible, awful, everyone's fucking dead. And it's a very cool shot, though, because we kind of pan up through the clouds, and we see the top half of the colony, because it's, like, broken through the clouds fully. So it's, like, nice and sunny up there, because, you know, that's how it is above the clouds. And Glemmy's there on the Sandra, and he talks about, he says some fucking wild shit about wanting redemption, because he had nothing to do with the colony drop, right? This is all Mashmer's doing. Remember him?
Yeah, my boy.
My boy. So Glemmy's just kind of fucking mad, and he's like, well, I'm gonna have to find redemption somehow and, like, get over Mashmer and Rakan now. God dang it. He's jealous.
Yeah, he's like, I bet Mashmer is very proud of himself right now.
I'm proud of him.
But so he runs off because he's got a plan.
Mm-hmm. He has a plan. And then we pan back down, and we see Judo looking at the colony, and, like, Judo enters the most fucking rancid, horrendous soup right now. It's, like, black and red. It looks like the fucking background when you fight Gygus in Earthbound. Like, the boy is not having a good one right now.
Ooh, that's a good pull, because that is very much what it's like.
Yeah, there's two good pulls in this episode, actually.
And hey, and then he hears who I'm guessing was Camille's voice again, telling him to use his anger to fight. And right at that moment, Rakan appears again.
Can you, bro? Can you chill, please?
Could you knock it off?
You're being a little stinker right now, Rakan. Oh, God. And this shit's fucking cool, because as it turns out, it makes sense, hence the name Double Zeta, because the Zeta Gundam had a little fucking cool thingamabob called a biosensor. Turns out Double Zeta got that too, and Judo gets soup armor.
Ooh, it was so awesome. I think it doesn't happen here, but, like, he, like, gets to really use it later, and is that was... I forgot all about the Zeta having that, and but then when that popped up, I was like, oh yeah,
I remember this from Gundam. and like, he immediately overpowers Rakan. Like, he hears Camille's voice telling him to, like, use that anger as your will to fight, and Judo's like, I guess I'll go apeshit now. It's my choice. And Rakan's like, I can't fucking touch this guy right now. And like, we did get a little scene of Camille running, and, like, you know, he's running through, you know, just trashed fucking countryside pretty much. And then we get a little scene with Glemmy, don't we?
So Glemmy goes into the room with all of the cold sleep.
Yeah, he goes into the Matacorp clone chamber.
And he decides to wake up Pol 2. And right at this moment, we see real Pol. She, like, feels a shiver.
Yeah.
And Anna's like, oh, she's just sick. But Pol's like, no, something foul is coming.
Oh, something Artemis Foul's coming, and
now
it's a clone most foul, and even Camille feels it too. I wonder what that's about. Camille's a little bit pretty in tune with all the new type bullshit going around here, and And then we cut back over. Judo and Rakan are still fighting, and Judo's still going apeshit right now. And just like fucking uses his blasters to just evaporate Rakan's legs in the Zaku 3. Like it's like a Family Guy falling animation where it's just there and it's gone the next moment as soon as he fires. It's just very cool that you can literally weaponize the soup now. You can turn it into a big old pew pew shooty laser. Get them fucking legs out of here.
And Rakan flies away, and Judo's like, okay, I'm going to calm down.
I'm normal now.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go chase him. I need to find my friends. That's more important.
Yeah. Speaking of important...
But I got my eyes on you, mister.
Yeah. And speaking of important, Poltu's woken up, and she's so fucking rude. She is so mean and rude and, like, down to business. She rules.
She actively dislikes Glimmy, and I love it.
She hates this motherfucker so badly. Like, she's so mean. I love it. It's just so cool that, like, we don't get that moment of her waking up being like, where am I? Who am I? She's like, I'm Poltu. I'm gonna fucking kill a new type. Like, she is good to go.
She asks him if, like, everything is sorted out, and he goes, if I had everything sorted out, there would be no need for you.
Shit sucks, girl. Sorry.
And so she goes to go get ready to fight.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I'll help you out if you want, fucker. See ya. It's so funny. And we get another cut over, and like Anna's going in to check on Pol, and she's totally gone. And then we sort of pan over to the hallway, and Pol is like crawling because she can't even walk right now. She's like crawling through the halls trying to get into the Cublé to protect the Argama. The orphans are there trying to stop her. And what does she need to protect the Argama from?
She ends up saying that the Argama is in danger, and she needs to get into the Cublé.
And what would be threatening the Argama, but oh shit, oh fuck. Pol's getting in Psycho Mark II.
Oh shit.
Pol 2, not Pol 1. It's confusing because like I just kind of refer to both as Pol in my notes because I know what it is in my head, and this is the same with the Argama later on, but it's just like, you know, there's Pol good and Pol bad, and Pol bad, you know she's bad because she has red and black outfit, and like I think her hair is a little bit longer. It's kind of hard to tell. Really? I don't know. I don't think her like two little like weird tassels up front are longer, but it looks like she has a little bit more of like a mullet in the back, a pullet. I'm not sure, but
I'll have to.
I mean, you can obviously. I mean, look, if you can fucking after this episode, you'll be able to tell which is which. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, she heads off to destroy the Argama for Lady Haman because you know she's still subservient to her, and we get a scene with the Gundam team. They're fine, but the cores are just fucked. They got to leave them there. Like no good sisters, and they all kind of have to head off to the, you know, Argama resupply, regroup.
But they get the two pilots out of the core fighter, and they bring them into the Dodai, and then Ru sees the Alhumla in the distance, and so everybody decides to head to it. It's
just kind of gliding there. It doesn't look like it's doing great. What's the fun? What probably fine.
Yeah.
And then we get the next scene. Pol is like in her bed on the bridge of the Argama right now. She's just chilling. She's in the fucking Stardew Valley grandpa cot right now.
And Bright is asking her what she means about the Argama being in danger. She's like, something is coming.
Oh, shit, oh fuck, dude. So, I really like this scene.
It was really neat.
So yeah, you want to take it?
Sure. So, Bright tells the bridge to prepare the mega cannons, and they're like, okay, it's only going to be at half power, and he's like, that's fine. And they can't see the enemy, but Pol knows where they are and that they're coming. And so he has Pol help him aim it. And on the screens, it just looks like they're aiming at empty space.
Mm-hmm.
But then she yells now. And as she yells now, Pol 2 kind of floats like around the edge of the colony and just has like the biggest like, oh shit look on her face.
Yeah, she like barely grazes it. Like it damages the Psycho a little bit. Right now, Psycho's in Digi-Egg mode. But it does graze it. It's like, you know, it's not like it totally missed. But then they're like, the fuck did you shoot? And they look over, and then, sisters.
They magnify the monitor, and they confirm that, oh shit, it is the Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
The Psycho Mark II.
Psycho Gundam. Qu'est-ce que c'est? And Psycho's doing the big old scatter shot laser fire. And I really like this because it's a neat bit of, this is how it would work sort of situation where the Argama's firing, you know, anti-air missiles at it, and like those are intercepting the laser blasts. But the lasers aren't really hitting the Argama right now because there's just a shitload of debris falling from the colony. So it's like there's too much sort of like air disturbance for it to be able to actually like hit, because a beam hits something, it just kind of stops it, I guess, or disperses. I guess that's how a scattershot beam works in this case. It's not, it doesn't have like the particle density of an actual beam, which is kind of it's a neat touch. I appreciate it. Yeah. Pull fucking just takes off to get in the Q-blade right now.
And she goes to launch in the Q-blade, and Pull 2 sees it, and she says finally, but then she gets like a shocked look on her face.
Yeah, like she's like
the mid-episode cut.
Yeah, we cut over the Gundam team is like get to the roof of the Audhumla, and they're kind of like looking around trying to find a way in. They see like a hatch, and they're like, all right, like Beach and Mondo, you fucking get in and see what the deal is. And they're like, okay, I'll do it. They don't really complain. They're good in these episodes. I'm not mean to them anymore. I appreciate them.
And back to Pull. She is approaching Pull 2, and her plan is to basically hammer the side where the Mark II got kind of hit with the mega particle beam. And if she just hammers in on that spot, it'll do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because Pull kind of like she cuts off a little bit of the armor plating, but like it's fine.
That's the plan anyway.
And as it turns out, I don't know if this was a Gundam Mark II original feature, but the Psycho Mark II has fucking funnels now.
Yeah.
Oh god. So it's just like a fucking funnel fight, which is pretty cool.
And so Pull launches all of her funnels, and Pull 2 launches hers, and the ones from the Psycho Mark II are like deflector ones.
They have these sort of like mirror dishes on them almost. It's an interesting sort of difference than the Q-Blaze ones that look like turkey basters.
So they're like reflecting the beams coming out of Pull's funnels and redirecting them back basically to destroy hers. Yeah. And so all of Pull's funnels are destroyed.
Yeah.
And so she goes in with the only thing she has left. She goes flying in with her beam saber.
But Judo comes to the rescue, thank goodness. He's here now. And it's important to note, the Pulls, like, they sort of have this feeling of familiarity. They don't realize they're fighting each other yet. Like, they don't realize they're fighting Pull, which is a cool little touch here.
They're kind of like, how do you know what I'm about to do?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my line.
Shit, only I know my own moves. Whoa. And Judo's here, and then Pull's like, all right, motherfucker, check this out. And then we get like this very cool extended transformation sequence of the Digi-Egg into the Psycho Mark II, and it's just like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love to see this. It's just Eva Gundam.
It was lovely to watch.
It's Psycho Mark II is so fucking cool looking.
And
the scary face. Oh,
absolutely. It was kind of terrifying.
And then we cut back over to the Audhumla. Everything's probably going great over there.
So everything is fine. They get on board and they go to the bridge, and oh no, everybody's dead.
Beans. Oh yeah, like the windows are blasted out and just like nothing but dead bodies in the bridge. Yikes.
And they go to open the hatch so that Rue can land the Dodai and the Zeta Gundam. And the bay is just full of survivors.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like all full of civilians, and L and Rue land in with the Dodai and the Zeta, and they're like, "Are you Karaba?" And they're like, "All the Karaba went out to fight." And they're like, no more Karaba here.
Yeah. They're like, they all went out to fight her. They're on the bridge, and they are like, "Oh, so
they're dead." Yeah. Noted. And we cut back over to the fight. And just a fun, interesting note to note here is that curious how the suit of the clone has 3 belly buttons on it that fire lasers out. What do they mean by this? How does Kyle XY have no belly buttons, but Psycho Gundam has 3?
Well, see, you see, it's simple math. It's the Psycho Gundam Mark II, and so the Psycho Gundam just had 1, but the Psycho Gundam Mark II has 2 because it's 2. And then Kyle wasn't using his, so they took it.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Jake. That really clears things up for me. I'm glad that
it's in the novel.
It's yeah. Yeah, the original translation doesn't quite capture the belly button audio properly. God.
Yeah.
This also got fucking stretch hands though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so she's fighting Judo, and she shoots out her extendo arms and grabs him. And
like just grabs him, like pulls him right back in, which is just like, I just like things on wires. It's just a fun little, like, it's always cool to see something that shoots out that's like attached by a wire that's like it reels back in like a fucked up fishing rod.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And she's like, there's nothing you can do now. And then his back just opens up and launches out an ass load of missiles.
Yeah, he's like, oh, check this fucking out. And, like, blasts, pulls like, shit, oh, fuck. And we cut over again back to the Outhoomla. Mondo radios the Argama, and they're like, hey, everyone's dead. Can we meet back up? And like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it, sure. Because, the Argama is still just kind of all fucked up trying to find where everyone else is.
And after the smoke and rubble from all the explosions, Pull 2 is like, Double Zeta, I'm surprised you can stand. And he pulls out his beam saber, but
out of juice.
Uh-oh.
Dang. And he's all out, and like he's about to get fucking belly buttoned again. And then Pull flies in on the Dodai and the Cublay and protects him from the belly buttons with her new. She just like raw new type power right now. It's just like what's like dispersing these beams. Like she is going ape shit.
And Pull's realized something at this point. Pull 2 is like, why does the sight of you disturb me? And Pull 1 is like, oh, that's natural. It's just human to be disturbed at the sight of yourself.
Ho. She's like, you're me with my most violent traits.
And then Pull, she like
angles all of the funnels at herself.
And then she just kind of goes and...
Ooh, she's like, myself, die! And I guess she like overloads the Cublay here to kind of like kamikaze it into the Psycho. Wouldn't you know it? Don't work.
Yeah, but the Psycho is fucked up.
This is such a sick shot because we see it slowly walk out of the explosion, and it's like all like fucked up and skeletal, and like you can see its underframe and like its face is like melted off. It's so cool looking.
Y'all ever watch Terminator?
It literally is, yeah, it goes dun 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 dun. It's so cool. And Judo's normal about this, of course, as you'd expect.
He goes pure sicko mode, pure Monster Energy drink.
Yo.
He reignites his saber. It's now full of new type soup energy. And then he just flies up and cuts the Psycho in freaking half.
Yo, he just like shreds it. And like the escaping head, the head flies off like the Zeong's head does. It's an escape pod, which is, where the cockpit is, because we'd seen this in the mouth. You got to get eaten by the Psycho. It's a metaphor, I think. And he's like, flying up and trying to cut up in the head, and like he slashes at it and doesn't fully take, because when he slashes, he kind of sees the open mouth and he sees Pull, and he's like, Pull was killed by Pull. And then Pull 2 rockets off. So Pull's just fucking dead now. Like that was a quick death.
Yeah. And Judo is out of new type juice, and so his engines fail, his beam saber goes away, and he just falls to the earth.
Yeah, just bye.
He is absolutely drained from that fight.
And like and this is a scene that I got confused by at first, because like he falls, and then we see like the top half of the colony fall, and it falls as if like the entire thing was cut apart in one line. I don't think Judo did that, but he probably could have if he had enough suit power in his beam saber.
Yeah, it wasn't super clear what happened there. I just assumed that, like maybe when because it was a diagonal cut, and he did a diagonal cut through the Mark II.
I'll choose to believe Judo did it until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Maybe he just really was pure Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, he poured caffeine into his soup. This is my energy stew.
He went to the gas station and got the BFG.
He got
or the BFC can.
He got that Campbell's Chunky with like fucking B12 in it and taurine. Oh god. But fucking, we just cut back over. The last scene here is everyone's back aboard the Argama, like holding a fucking funeral for everyone who died in the Dublin war crime area. And
it starts raining because it's a sad scene. And Judo notices that the rain is black. And then we come back to Camille, who is running along the beach, kind of like we saw earlier. But now he just collapses onto the beach. And the episode ends with like him rolling over onto his back, and the camera just panning above him and like pulling back.
Oof, very sad. But yeah, it's whew, fucking
rough.
Sad episode. Good God. Yeah.
Now, we did promise you some fun, and that is coming.
Well, let me tell you, Jay. I'd like to tell you about the next episode we got going on. The Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta episode 37. Nail Argama. Leaving the Argama on Earth, the crew returns to space in a shuttle to find L'Avion Rose waiting with the new battleship Nail Argama. But Judo and the others refuse when the kids are ordered off the ship. At that moment, they fall under surprise attack by Ilya Pazom, a female soldier who has pledged her life to Mash Marcello! The boy's back in town. We're in fucking space. Gundam's back, baby. God. It just... This episode fucking... Oh, it pops off, don't it?
Oh, it sure do. It sure do.
Off. Like... At first, we see Haman launching back to space on a shuttle, to do more crimes. She's like, the colony drop was a success. I'm gonna do some more heinous bullshit up in space. Goodbye, Earth. Fuck you.
And Judo's like, well, once we heard of that, we had to go into space also, of course.
Mm-hmm. We simply had to follow her.
And we cut over to like a airstrip where they're about to like launch I thought they were gonna launch the Argama, but then nope. We just see that it's just the crew, and they're launching in a shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of look out the window, and the Argama is being retired.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. It's like I'll net it up, and Bright's like, well, I know Crab won't let it go to waste, and we were promised a new Argama by Wong, so it looks like he's gonna make good on his promise at least. And we're in the hangar of the shuttle, and there's like two shuttles going, and one of them, all the Gundam team's there with their Gundams and everything, and they're kind of like seatbelted onto like cargo containers, which is interesting. They're like sitting down on the floor basically. But Judo's like really fucking sad right now. He's like, it's okay. We couldn't save anyone. Haha, I'm normal now.
And she L holds his hand and basically says like, hey, we're gonna finish things. Everything's gonna end up okay.
Mm-hmm. And like, Judo's like, yeah, let's fucking fight now. He's so excited.
And Beaches sees her holding his hand, and of course he has to chime in and give them shit.
Yeah, what are you doing? And she's like, I still have my personal freedom. It's like, can you just hold a homie's hand? That's good. And like as they launch off, as they launch off, all we really see is we just see Glasgow's all flooded and fucked up, and Camille and Far are just like looking at the sky. They're doing fine. That's all we see in this scene. Nothing else. Nobody else.
Nope.
Nothing
no one else. Not at all. Oh, actually, you know what? There was one thing else that we saw.
Oh, I must have missed it. What's up?
Something small.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a blonde lady and a brown-haired girl also watching the launch. I don't know who these people could be.
Yeah, I don't think that they couldn't. I don't think it's possible that they're fucking Sayla and Lena. Are you fucking kidding me? They're like, okay. I fucking yelled. I was like, what the fuck? And I like accidentally slammed my desk door, this little cabinet door. And like I said before, Katie got mad at me. But like, what the fuck? We see Sayla and she's just hanging out with Lena, who's also alive.
Yeah, and it's just what the hell? Why, Sayla? Why do you have the child now?
Why do you have her? Why do you know who she is? Why are you in Dakar during this? Why were you on the little fucking island in Dakar? I mean, I guess you're a new type, but like, huh? What the fuck?
And why did you try to get her back to her people?
Why didn't you fucking tell Judo? Is Lena like, no, don't tell him until the war is over. He's gonna not want to fight. It was literally all I can think of.
He'll be too distracted if he knows I'm alive.
Yeah, just, oh my god.
I don't like that line of thinking, but that's probably it.
It is just batshit. Just fucking, holy moly. Good god, what a world we live in. But yeah, fucking Lena's alive and she's hanging out with Sayla. Oh my god.
I can't wait until we figure out how the hell that happened.
Please, I would like a little bit to know about this.
And if that is in the book, and my joke earlier wasn't just a joke, I won't be angry.
Yeah, I'm sure people in the Gundam Discord will just be like, haha, keep watching, haha. Oof. But yeah, the AU shuttles are in space. They're heading to L'Avion to get their new ship. It's the Nail Argama. It looks exactly the same, pretty much.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that looks familiar.
Mm-hmm. And they do, so like they're here, and Emery's here, and Millie's here, and Midchar's here too. And I think Millie at some point says, yeah, we chose the name Nail Argama because it means close to the Argama. Because really all it is, imagine the Argama, and it has an extra runway in the middle, and that's it, as far as I can tell.
And it's probably got some other smaller upgrades and whatnot, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, this is the same thing. But yeah, it's a cool ship. We love it. It's brand new.
Also, I forgot Madchar's name until they said it, so I just wrote Bastard Man every time.
Yeah, he like turned evil when he was in space and away from everyone else, I think, because he fucking sucks in this episode.
Yeah, I don't like him. I didn't like him before, but I really don't like him now.
Like, he's doing a lot of pull to make Emery not the worst character in his episodes. Because she's not any fucking better. But yeah, it's like, you know, everyone's here. There's a reunion. Millie takes everyone to tour the new Argama, and it's like all brand new inside. And like Beach is like, "Oh, I take this as my severance package."
Yeah, and Mondo says that they could sell this for a fortune, and Beecha like jokingly scolds him. He's like, "You keep thinking like a junk trader."
Yeah, it's just cute. And then he gets in the chair and he does his like best Bright impression. It's a really cute scene. I like Beecha now. He's good.
And this is when I noticed that they're all in their original outfits again.
Yes. So do they got fucking like these outfits only can be worn when you're not under gravity's influence? Is that what it is? Because they just ditch their cool Earth outfits, which is cool. Because I think I prefer their space outfits better. I like Beach's cool shawl. Mondo, I could not take seriously in his fucking shorts and suspenders and bow tie.
Yeah,
Judo's still cool. He got that red jacket, but yeah, I don't know. It's just. Sure, but I mean, Rue's outfit is like fucking rules. I love that blue and white sort of frilly, dressy blouse-looking thing. Hey, Sarah hosted the show at Sarah McCostumes. That was commissioned by a Smarter Gundam podcast, Mobile Suit Breakdown, to do a Rue cosplay in one day. You can check it out at her account. I retweeted it. It's and fucking good. Ass. She like nailed it. She nail Argama'd it.
Hey.
It's spelled Nahel. It's not Nail. It's not like the fun Namekian from Dragon Ball Z who's cooler than any of the other Namekians. Don't at me.
Okay.
I mean, like, Pickle's a very close second, but Nail's just so fucking cool. Anyway, Clone High JFK is here with some other Ayuk fuck. And think they're in charge, I guess. Not the kids, but them.
Yeah, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? They're like, we're just touring our new ship. Like, oh, they haven't told you yet.
Ship. Ugh, rude.
And they basically tell him to get the hell out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like they kind of have to like escort Judo out of the room before he like starts to fight.
Yeah, he got a little bit rabid.
Yeah, and so did I, because the next scene is Medchar saying that the kids are going to get kicked off the Argama, and I am simultaneously furious and also recognizing that this is the right thing to do, because we shouldn't be making kids fight in fucking wars. That's what the entire anime is about. But at the same time, the kids are so good at fighting.
Yeah, that was my feelings the entire time too. I was like, you motherfucker. Well, okay, actually,
you're doing the right thing, but I'm mad at you. I'm mad at myself, and I'm mad at you for doing the right thing.
He says we're going to pick out a crew of adults and train them, and we don't need to make children fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a thought, radical idea. You know.
And they're like, Bright, you're the only person that we're keeping from the crew. Yeah. Which, like, he's not the only adult.
What about Torres, Keithron, fucking Asanosh? People who know how to do their jobs. But even Bright is like, fuck you, this plan sucks. I don't like this. Yeah. And then like fucking even Elle is refusing. Elle is like, this isn't fair. Bright didn't even see his family before we left. Like, he could have done that. And, you know, Judo starts to tear into Medchar for, like, being like, the Ayug and Kuraba did fucking nothing to stop Haman, who now has Side 3 where Xion was born. Maybe not a good thing, my guy.
Yeah, he tells him that they've been doing great in fights, and the only reason they've been having a hard time is because the Ayug isn't taking this serious enough. Ugh. And, like, Madchar says that, like, no, it's the feds who made that decision, but, like, you can hear the wavering in his voice. It was some good voice acting right there. Like, you could take you kind of got a point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, it's really, it's like, under no circumstances do you have to hand it to him, but in this case, I will forsake my ideology to say the kids should be allowed to fight. But we got no fucking time for that, Jake, because the scanners are picking up some enemy units. You get to see before we see him, we do get to see an Ewak again, but it's like a gray and red Ewak. It has this cool red stripe over the big old ray dome on his back of his head. I like the Ewak a lot. It's just a cool fucking guy.
And then we cut to a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy
the
is
first thing
back.
you see is his rose.
It's just a super close in on his rose. And then it zooms out and he went sleeveless. Oh, blessed day.
Fucking Mash Marcello has the coolest fucking outfit. Quattro Bagina, get fucked. You are no longer the coolest Gundam character because you didn't have fucking fingerless gloves. Hello? Oh my god, Mashimer, you fucking freak, man. You rule. He's so fucking shredded.
He's so good.
It's like it's like the fucking, it has like the gold trim of all the Neo Xeon shit, but it's like a half unzipped black tank top vest. It's so fucking cool. Ah. Oh, I love Mashmer so much. He rules.
And then he takes his rose and takes it out off his shirt and gives it to a lady.
Ilya Pazom. And who also, by the way, is wearing a white sleeveless zip-up vest tank top. So I guess this is just like the fucking Xeon uniform now. I'm all for it.
Hell yeah. And he tells her that he's giving her the rose because he can't bear the weight of it any longer. Not after he did something as reprehensible as the colony drop.
Yeah, fucking being horny will not... The only sin that's more powerful than being horny is killing an entire fucking island on Earth. The only thing. But yeah, it's interesting that he actually gave the rose away, not to Lady Hamon. I mean, I guess Hamon gave him the rose and he got it laminated, but he's giving it to someone else, which is cool. I like Ilya. She's cool. She's like bright pink hair, like cool tan skin. She rules. I like her a lot.
She looks badass.
Everyone looks badass in Double Zeta. It's just cool.
And so yeah, they get a report back from the recon team.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we found a dock ship, and then what docked to it, we saw something that seems like it might be an Argama class ship. And Mashmer is like, you can see the firelight in his eyes. He goes full commander mode.
He is ready to fuck.
He just starts.
I don't know why I promise I meant to say fight. I do not know why I said he's ready to fuck. I think that was Freudian of me.
You know what? Maybe.
No, I was right. I was right, though. Yeah, he sends out the Zissa squadron to fight. We cut back over the kids want a sortie, but Emery's trying to stop them. And like the Aug fucks are here too. JFK holds Judo up by the neck trying to stop him. And fucking, you know, it's like this whole scene where Medchar's there, Bright's there, and eventually it's this big old argument. The kids run off and Bright's like, this fucking rules. He's so happy the kids ran off to fight right in front of Medchar's face.
And Medchar tells JFK, like, fine, we'll let him go pilot, but don't let him beat you. And don't let him do better than you. And Bright,
spoiler alert.
After they leave, Bright just looks at him and goes, he's already beaten.
Yeah, you fucking lost Omo wa Moshinderu, bitch. So yeah, he's like, the kids are all on the bridge right now. Beach is in the captain's chair for real. And Bright's like, you know what? You're doing well. And he like sends the AU freaks to the gun stations. Like Bright's like, you know what, Beecha? I think you got this. It's fucking, oh god. This episode endeared Beecha so much to me, Jake. I really like him now.
Me too. It feels like this change was kind of sudden, but I welcome it.
I think, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's because they're back in space. The kids are more comfortable. But I think like Beach is sort of like had this really big turnaround of like, okay, I'm the oldest one here. I can kind of be like Beach is like realizing, I think that he's good at leadership, I think.
And he was kind of the boss when they were junk traders.
Exactly. It's sort of a natural extension of that. So Emery orders the Nail Argama to be released, and Bright's about to say the line, but then Beach is like, no, let me say the next part.
He still yells out, Nail Argama, launch!
Oh, it's so good. And then Bright like fully says, okay, Beach, you're in charge. Goodbye. He's like, I'm going to go check out the ship. Your move, my guy. It's so cool. He shouldn't be in charge, but it's cool that he is.
Yeah. Then we immediately cut to Shinta and Kum are in the hallway yelling at JFK and his buddy.
Mm-hmm. Because they do not want to do fucking shit right now.
He's like, we're bridge crew, not gunners. How dare you use us like this?
I can't do... if I tried to do the JFK voice, I would not be able to. Interesting that there's a Clone High character now after the other clone died. Or the original one. No, I guess Pol wasn't a clone. Pol is the OG. Pol 2 is the clones. Now there's 2 clones running around. Double clones. It's Kyle XY and Slimy XX. We love it.
We're going to have to change the theme song.
Oh god, I'm not gonna do that. I think I used it a little bit too early, but like whatever. We get the point now. It's fun. I still like the ZZ Top Lagrange solo, so it's good.
Great.
So yeah, the Orcans are like kind of costing. They're not doing anything. Judo runs off to get in the double Zeta because they're like, oh well, someone has to get in a fucking mobile suit and fight right now. Iliasaurides. How do you feel about her mobile suit, Jake?
I liked it. I don't think I ever caught the name, but I really liked it.
So this is called the Regelgu, which stands for Refined Gelgoog, but it's like Gelgu for some reason.
Okay.
But it's a Gelgoog. Think of Gelgoog. It's a very cool dark red. It has this like really, really deep blue and black chest piece and like knee pads and hands and feet. Has like sort of green bubble over the dome. And just the fucking biggest, like almost Cubelay-sized shoulder pauldrons on this thing.
They're sick.
And even though I'm looking at it, I'm realizing the right... So you know how the Cubelay has... I think it has these 2 sort of like round vents on the left shoulder and like 3 sort of like cylindrical vents on the right shoulder. It might be the other way around, but the Regelgu has the 3 sort of slash vents on the right shoulder too, which is interesting.
Yeah. So if you're on the wiki and you change to one of the other like colors, you can see them a little bit better. They kind of blend in with the dark one.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, they're very cool.
I don't really care that much for the Gelgoog, but this one's cool just because I just like the fucking big stupid shoulders pads on it. I do like the cool propellant tanks on the back. I always love to see propellant tanks on mobile suits.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little touch. But yeah, Ilya's out in this motherfucker. It's cool. She starts to fire on the Nail Argama. First of all, I just love it. We get a brand new ship, and immediately a fucking hole is blown into it.
Yeah. But not only is a hole blown into it, a hole where a lot of people were, and they all get sucked out into space except for Bright.
Yeah, I care about some of the people who got sucked out because Shinta and Coom are sucked out into space. It's interesting. I actually I watched this Kyle Hill video on YouTube earlier today. Kyle Hill is like this like sort of like science YouTuber talking about a lot of like nuclear experiments and like, you know, science fiction science, making it real. And actually watched a video on like what happens if you're in an airlock that gets sucked into space. And if you're in like a pressurized chamber and it gets blown up, if you are like in the opposite wall where it gets blown up, you won't get sucked out because there's no air to kind of push you out. Which is an interesting sort of thing.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, I get this is a hallway, right? So everyone's going to be pushed out because there's a lot of air coming out. But like, if someone was to stand on the opposite wall, like there was no, like they were as furthest away from the hole as possible, they wouldn't be sucked out. They would just kind of be like, they'd be in the vacuum. They'd have to like, you know, let the air leave their lungs. Otherwise they'd like burst open, but they would be quote unquote fine, more fine than being, you know, forced out into space. So, you know.
Oh, damn. That's cool. Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
Real science. Thanks, Kyle Hill.
Woo.
But yeah. Oh, and then we get some fucking wild shit with Ilya and Judo, huh?
Yeah. So Judo launches in the double Zeta, and he goes to fight Ilya, and like she's really fast and evades his blows, and like he can't like really get a beat on her, and then she circles around behind him and like grabs his shoulder, and then just. Wow, 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 wow. Some weird new type like resonance happens.
This is like, I mean, in terms of our podcast, this is like a fucking new version of the soup. This is like, I don't even know. This is stew.
And they're just both like, what? I've never experienced this. What the hell is going on here?
My current running theory is like this is Pol sticking around and like just fucking pouring as much of that caffeine into Judo as she possibly can from beyond the grave.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what else it would be, but like, yeah, it's fucking wild shit. Like Judo just gets just like immediately. It's like this like weird like. It reminds me a lot of the effect when Broly goes Legendary Super Saiyan. That like sort of like converging circles, but it's going outwards and it's green tinted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, kind of similar. But yeah, they like break off, and Bright just heads out in a launch all by himself to rescue everyone. And L's like, all right, I'm going Mark II to go to support. And Beach is like, why is everyone leaving? And it's just funny that like Beach has to deal with what everyone put Bright through now.
Yeah. He's like, listen to me, I'm the captain.
It's like, you're the captain as of 10 minutes ago, my guy. We do not respect you like that yet.
And then back to Ilya and Judo. She goes to swing at him because he's distracted from the soup. And but as she's about to hit him, she feels the resonance or whatever it is. And she says it feels like electricity running through my body.
Yeah, maybe so. This is like, okay, yeah, no. So yeah, it's the soup. This is the energy drink. This is not stew. This is just like, this is 5-hour energy that Judo's emitting right now. the electricity of energy drinks.
God.
Oh God, I haven't had that shit in fucking. Well, I've actually only ever had it once in my entire life. Junior year of high school, we played laser tag, and I had it. And I had the best game of laser tag of my fucking life, Jake. Honestly, I got so many damn points.
Honestly, it doesn't really do anything for me except for like keep me from sleeping, but it doesn't make me feel.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the point in my fucking journey of caffeine addiction that's kind of what energy drink does to me. Yeah. But that's why I get those like little Mio squirties, because you can just put a little bit. It's like, get the Mio energy kind. A little squirt will do you. It'll trick your brain to think you're having more caffeine, but really you'll just, it helps you chill the fuck out.
And those are really tasty.
They're quite tasty. I wouldn't go as far as to say they're better than a limoncello La Croix, but Hey, you think they drink La Croix on La Viande?
Ooh, I bet.
Third French phrase. It's funny. So yeah, Judo retreats to think of another plan to how to fight Ilya, and his plan is to get out of the double Zeta. Not great.
And yeah, so after he jumps out of the cockpit, we cut away. Bright has rescued everyone and is returning to the L'Avion Roll.
Yay!
Then we cut back to Ilya. She's looking around for Judo, and she finds the double Zeta just barely hiding behind an asteroid, not even trying. And he starts blasting at her, but she dodges it easily, like he's not even aiming.
It turns out he's not even aiming.
She gets behind the asteroid and sees that it's split in two and just connected by cables.
What? Yeah, it's like the entire belly button's fucking gone. Because Judo's in a core to sneak attack her, and he flies in, and she grabs him. But as part of his plan, because he gets out of the cockpit, and he gets he gets in the little jewel belly button of the Gelgoog, and she like just falls for a hook, line, and sinker because she fucking whack-a-moles her own belly button to open her cockpit. And Judo's like, so easy to bait you. He literally says that.
And then he jumps inside the cockpit, and like she reaches for her sidearm, but he like grabs her hand before she can, and and it just keeps happening.
It keeps happening so hard the fucking rose disintegrates.
Yeah.
Saddest character death in the entire show so far.
They get blasted apart, and she flies away, and the Mark II like shows up and gives backup fire, and she decides to retreat. And then back on the Indra 2.
Yeah. This is called the Indra 2, by the way. Did the Indra 1 get destroyed?
I think that he just abandoned the Indra 1. I think he just decided like this is the actual Indra now. He got a new ship. Maybe. And he decided. I'm
pretty sure it blew up at some point, but I fucking don't remember it. I don't care to go back and find out why. So whatever, it's gone. The Indra 2 is here. Mashmore sees the rose is done for, and he's like, Judo Ashta did this. God, I'm so happy to do Mashmore voice again. I laminated that rose from Lady Haman, and you destroyed it.
And he's just like holding it in both hands, like right up to his face. And like you see his eyes twitch a little bit.
It's the saddest character death.
And it's just like, I was like, oh, sisters. He's gonna
Mashmore's Mashmore. And we cut back over to the Argama, or the Nail Argama, I should say. I'm still probably just gonna end up calling it the Argama because it's the same fucking shit.
In my notes, I just called it the Nargama.
I like that. The Nargama, returning monster from Monster Hunter Rise, the Bat Panther wife, or Nargama. So yeah, they're all back on the bridge, Jude and Elga back, and they're like, all right, let's head for the moon, and then we'll go to side 3, and let's just fucking ditch Bright.
Yeah, they say let him enjoy some time off.
On purpose, old man, fuck you. And they actually do it. Like, they actually leave, and, like, Bright's okay with it.
Yeah, Bright's like, hell yeah, okay, guys.
At first, Emery is all sad that Bright's leaving, but then she's like, one of the crew on the La Vie en Rose is like, don't be so sure. And we see Bright returning in the launch, and she's fucking happy. I don't give a shit.
It's like, ugh.
Madcher's mad again, get fucked. And one of the people who like sends a message, good hunting, Nail Argama.
Yeah. And then
that's episode.
I just like wrote in my notes, I was like, kid show, teen boat, what could go wrong?
It's a fucking teen boat. It's a fucking teen boat. I'm happy about it.
It's a kid venture, and nothing's gonna go wrong.
Nothing's gonna go wrong. I mean, fucking, if Lena can die, quote unquote, and come back, I think we actually might be okay this time.
Yeah.
Fucking, let's talk about the third one, Jake.
All right. Episode 38. The Iron Wall of Jamru Fen. The nailed Argama draws near to the Neo-Zeon stronghold of Side 3. Heading to resupply them, Emery aboard the La Vie en Rose carefully sends out an optical signal that gives away their position. This is picked up by the 3D unit, subordinates of Mashmer, piloting the new mobile armor Jamru Fen, who launched and attacked.
I didn't know how to fucking, like, parse this title when I first read it. I was like, is Jamru Fen a person, a place? It's neither, it's a mobile armor. But the whole, it's like a unit of mobile armors, which are kind of neat looking. But we'll get there.
Yes.
We start out, we're in the cargo bay of La Vie en Rose. Emery has this fucking, like, stupid love calculator that's, like, she carries with her the entire episode. She's playing, like, he loves me not. It's like the fucking mini game that Yoshi plays in Super Mario 64 DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it ends up on He Loves Me. And she gets really excited about that.
He kind of fucking does, right? You have a daughter and a son and a wife.
And then speaking of, Bright walks up.
And
he's about to leave to... I'm not really sure what he was going to do. I thought he was bringing supplies to the Nargama, but that's not what happens.
I was really confused at first because I thought that they were just going to send Emery and some others like on a launch back to the Argama, but no, they're going to end up basically like piloting the entire La Vie en Rose back to the Argama, I guess to repair it after the fucking hole Ilya blew into it. Yeah. But I think Bright is just going to take a ship and go fuck off somewhere else that is neither of those places. That's, I think, what happens, because like we don't really see him after this, but like we know he's on a mission, so I think he's just like moving cargo around and just like taking a break from like captaining an entire ship, which is better. Good for him, I guess.
And he gives Emery a couple of messages to deliver to the Nargama.
The Nargama, good. I got to use that. And like speaking of the Nargama, they're testing out this new like wired camera system, which is kind of a cool thing. Just fucking. They got some Nikons on wires, like, zooming around the ship, like, so they can, like, scope out in asteroid fields and shit when there's, like, a lot of debris around. I like, it's the small touches like that make it believable, you know?
Yeah, and Beecha is kind of struggling to get used to his new role as deputy captain. Not everybody really wants to listen to him, and he kind of is a little letting the power go to his head.
Damn, Beecha.
That won't come back to bite him ever.
They're near Side 3 right now. They have to kind of find out where Neo-Zeon is. And, you know, Beach and Judo start to argue and fight. And, like, they're about to, like, actually fight for real. And then Judo calms down. He's like, no, you know, we got to end the war so I can see Lena. And Beach is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Lena?
He's like,
Lena? You good, homie? I'm like, so at this point, I'm like, does Judo know that Lena's still alive? And kind of, but not in the way that I thought he knew that Lena's alive. Like, I thought that fucking Sayla and Lena sent him a secret message saying, hey, your sister's alive. It does not appear that is the case, but he still, I think, kind of knows that Lena's alive right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really get explained, but yep.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's like fucking fully new typed out at this point in time, right? I think he's probably about as powerful as he's ever going to be because Pole's like, you know, poured a lethal dose of monster energy into him right now. So
she gave him
he's just
2 Oreo pills.
She gave him a Waluigi pill.
Oh shit.
That's what just fucking kills you. That just superfies you right on the spot. So Emery is like flying over to the Argama and La Vie en Rose, and she's like on her fucking shitty calculator. She's doing this like fortune telling game now. I hate her so much.
And Millie snatches the toy out of her hand, and she's like, At first, she thinks that like she's trying to be like the navigator, assessing the course, and then she snatches it out of her hand. And she's like, "It's just a fortune telling game."
Yeah, let me pull out my TI-84 calculator to get us through this asteroid field. That's what navigators do, and that's the tools they use. And fucking dumbass Emery is like, I will secretly order a signal flare so we can be found.
Yeah, she's like, because what if something happens to me before I can get married?
Yeah, like firing a fucking signal flare in an asteroid field so the enemy knows exactly where you are. I don't like Emery. I don't like Emery at all.
Yeah.
But we cut over to some new friends. We see the Jamru Finns, and they are weird looking. They don't really look like fighter jets, but they look like what a fucking Gundam fighter jet would look like, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between like a fighter jet and a Gundam. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting, and it's hard to describe, but I like it. I like it. It's
like this like bluish silver color with like, red accents, red thrusters. It has a mono eye camera up in the middle, like this like little dome head part of it. It's like kind of a W shape, but it also has like a bit going down the middle past the end of it. So it's like sort of a trident shape, but like more wide than it is long. It's interesting. It's definitely a neat design. I'm not huge on it just because it's kind of like hard to tell what they were going for. But it's a new robot. I can appreciate it. I like it.
Hell yeah.
And then they're like flying in to attack the Argama. And of course they see the flare. And well, first of all, we learn their names: Del, Dune, and Danny. The 3 Ds. And
but they're like, yeah, we should be able to defeat the Argama, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just start doing sick tricks in space because it's cool.
Dude, these guys rule. They're like the fucking shitty evil Blue Angels.
Yes. And then they see the bright shining light in the distance. And they're like, oh, hey, maybe that's the Argama. Wouldn't we be so
real
lucky?
estate. Yeah. And they like head off there. And the alarms are sounded and the Gundams have to sortie. And Judo like knows it's Emery's fault that she got seen because she fired off a flare. But, no time for that. And he's kind of like flying over with L and the Mega Rider. And like Judo is just, like I said, fully new typed out at this point.
And let me see. Oh, and at one point, like the Jamru Finns start firing at the Lavian and Emery like cries out for Captain Bright.
Fuck off! It's your fault.
And Judo hops on the Mega Rider, and he does some Luke Skywalker shit.
Oh my god, that's a good way to put it.
He closes his eyes and he's like, I don't need the aiming computers. And
trust the Force, Luke.
He basically like snipes one of the Jamrus, but it
just like kind of melts a little bit of the thruster of one of them. They're fine.
Yeah, it hits one of them kind of enough to make them retreat.
Yes. We're at the point where so many times someone has fucking Babe Ruth the cannon shot that I hope we get to see one where it just straight up kills whatever the enemy was going to be and they have a normal time afterwards. Like, it's the same principle in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I want to see somebody win turn 1 easy peasy and I want to see somebody lose turn 1 because they just didn't get a good draw. Like, I know that doesn't make for exciting television, but I just want it to happen once because it would be very fucking funny. I don't know. It'd just be a little bit silly. So let's see.
And then the Nargama returns to the Lavian Rolls.
Mm-hmm. Docks again.
They deliver a message from Bright, or she delivers the message from Bright, and it's kind of an interesting message there.
You have to destroy the Neo-Zeon units inside 3, otherwise you're going to be hunted down and prosecuted as rebels.
By both the AUG and the Earth Federation.
They're fucking teenagers. Good God. Come on. Give them a break.
And everybody's freaking out. And Judo's like, well, that's what we were planning on doing anyways. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, he'll need the money anyway to send Lena to a nice school.
And Beach is like, hey, but wait, no. And then I was like, stop it. Stop it.
Fucking don't do this, Beach. I'll leave him alone. He's fucking going through it, man.
And then Emery gives them Bright's other message, which is a recorded message.
Mm-hmm.
And
this one's nicer.
And he basically spends the recorded message hyping them up.
Yeah, this one's nicer. He's like, yeah, you get those Nazis, kids. Fucking go get them. And Judo loves it. And Judo's like, yeah. And he like rallies everyone together. And Beach is like, something's fucking seriously fucked up about Judo right now.
I took a screenshot of it. He's like, because just the look on his face, he's like, something's definitely wrong with Judo.
Mm-hmm. The boy ain't right. And yeah, Emery's crying when she sees Bright. Fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah. Back on the injured too. The Neo-Zeon soldiers are reminding Mashmer that they aren't under his control. They're just here to protect Side 3.
Yeah, which is interesting because, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, they're not in under his regiment, but they fuck off. Mashmer's like, I don't care. And the Jamru 3D show up, which is what they're called. And, like, they have their little meeting with him. And he's like, oh, yes, kill those plucky space teens. And they kind of just, like, immediately, like, turn around and head back off.
And they report about their encounter with the Lavian Rose. And they say that means the Argama is probably likely nearby.
Mm-hmm.
But after they leave, Mashmer's like, that Diaz team worries me. I have a plan.
Yeah.
And he kind of pulls Ilya over and tells her his plan, but we don't get to hear it.
Yeah, not yet. But then we just like immediately we see the Diaz team, the Storm Diaz team setting off. And hold on. I skipped ahead a little bit. Okay. So yeah, the Storm Diaz team launch. And the Jamru 3D launch, even though Danny's booster is damaged, and Danny's like, no, it's fine. Like, I don't need it for this short-range fight. And Ilya's also out in her Regelgu. And we got fucking 10 mobile suits incoming to La Vienne Rose. Uh-oh, let's fucking fight.
And Emery kind of freaks out. She's like, oh no, they're going to outnumber us. And Millie's like, hey, command, have a plan.
You're fucking in charge here.
Emery's like, oh yeah. And so she orders them to launch dummy asteroids and start opening fire.
Yeah, there's a lot of dummies. They like mention dummies like when they're loading it up earlier, and it's like I don't think they're upgraded at all. I don't think they do anything. They're just kind of there. So it's like they're already in an asteroid field. They don't need all the dummies.
Emery only knows one plan.
Yeah, and she learned it from fucking Bright, who does not known for his tactical genius. He's just known for having to being able to babysit new types.
And we go back to the board of the Argama, and everyone on the bridge is like urging Bicha to go pilot the Hakushiki.
Please get in that fucking minion, dude. You're not a good commander yet.
And he's like, no, I'm the captain. Make Eno go do it.
And Eno's doing maintenance right now. Fuck you.
And so the Double Zeta, the Mega Rider, and the Zeta all launch. But because the Lavian Rose is just shooting all randomly, they almost
get shot.
They almost shoot them while they're launching.
Come on. Emery's like, oh, stop firing hot beans. And, a really big fight. There's a lot of units, so they're kind of breaking past all the lines of defense. And Sato, the commander of the Storm Diaz team, he just kind of fucking flies right up to the bridge of the the Nargama. And he's just like ready to fire and kill him. And he's about to do it, and Beach is like screaming and freaking out. He's just kind of cowering. And then Ilya shoots him.
First, she does like a new type flash at him. And like he hesitates, and then boom.
Yeah, interesting that Ilya is a new type.
And then she radios everyone like the Argama shot down your commander. We must avenge him and attack the Argama. And
which is like
the Jammer 3D. They like saw what actually happened, and they're like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, fuck that. That guy sucked anyway. But it's like I guess Mashmer always wanted. He always wanted Sato out of the way for just like being a loose cannon flying off the handle. But it's very funny that like he got taken out right before he was actually going to like kill him. I don't know.
Yeah, he was actually going to succeed at what they wanted.
Yeah, blow up the Argon. But Ilya's like, no, fuck you. You went on ahead. This is what you get. And the rest of the team sort of rallied, and the Jamru Finns like they transform now into their mobile. It's like their mobile armor. And they have like a mobile suit form, which looks really weird, right? It's like it reminds me of something. I can't quite name it, but like it's not much of a transformation, really.
Yeah, it just kind of stands up a little bit.
It kind of stands up a little bit, like the wing arms kind of fold down and turn into its legs, and its arms kind of poke downward, and its head sticks out. And like it's interesting. Its head is encased within the big dome up top, so like you see the mono eye going through, but the mono eye is actually on the head inside the dome, It has antenna. God, what does it fucking remind me of? It stands in a very strange way, but like it's a cool sort of like it's a transformer really. It's like a very interesting in between a mobile suit and like a full, blocky, chunky mobile armor. But I think it's kind of neat. It looks a lot cooler in its mobile suit form, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're transformed. They're like fighting Judo in cool formation, like confusing him. They're like all like flying behind each other, so it looks like there's one, but then there's three, and there's one again. It's like ooh ha hoo ha, Blue Angels, woohoo!
And they're really kicking his ass, and then they go to launch their special attack, the 3D 3-in-1 attack,
the Nintendo 3DS attack.
And I was just like, oh, I love it.
I love that stupid shit. And Beach is still refusing to go out in the Hyakushiki because he's the captain, damn it.
I was going to say, and Emery actually has a cool moment here. Where
the only one she gets.
She hails the Argama and like basically convinces him to go. She's like, I'll command your deck. A real captain will put his crew first and do whatever it takes to protect them. Yeah, and so he's like, okay, fine. I just wanted to make sure it was cool first, Like he tries to play it off like it was still his idea.
Mm-hmm. And like Tori's like, Emery, you're on fire. And she's like, just like Bright, we're one and the same. Just like, gah. But yeah, Beach is like golden boy to the rescue right away. Beach just sort of saves Judo. And then immediately gets his fucking leg blown off.
Yeah. They're kind of getting in each other's way. Beach's ego is again kind of interfering with the teamwork. But then Lena DMs both of them. She's like, hey, you need to work together.
She's alive. We know it now. She tells, work with Judo. And like, she's like totally fucking alive. Because now Judo and Beach are like kind of back to back. And Judo tells Beach to close his eyes. And he starts guiding their shots. And like, they're like starting to clip the Jamru fins. And they're like, what the fuck? How can they hit us right now? It's like fucking... Lena's confirmed alive to the kids.
It's so good.
It's so good. Gundam's fucking good. Double Zeta rules.
And Ilya orders a withdrawal.
She's like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have killed that guy.
And after the enemies leave, Judo and Bicha talk about like what they just experienced. Mm-hmm. And we see Judo like reflecting on how like she really must be alive. Like now he knows it for sure.
Yeah, he like looks to Earth and it's like confirmed, and then and we immediately cut over to Endra 2, and Ilya's telling Mashmer that Commander Sato was shot by the Argama, and he's like, oh, I believe you 100%. Of course he was. No one would dare shoot our dear boy Sato.
And I mean, his plan was really smart because now the entire team who wasn't like, they were all like kind of detractors and weren't wanting to pay attention to him. Now they're all going to be pretty loyal soldiers because they want to take revenge for their fallen comrade.
Exactly. If you destroy the Argama and stick with me, you'll advance quickly because I am a knight close to Lady Haman. He just like this insane maniacal laugh at the end of the episode.
You love to see it.
Mashmer fucking rules, dude. This guy kicks ass.
He's fucking back. I'm so happy.
He's back. He's buff. Sun's out, guns out, and the sun's always out in space, so the guns is always out in space.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, boy. That was fun.
Oh, man, it was a good one.
I'll keep it real with you, Jake. I didn't even fucking have a segment today because these episodes took a whole lot out of me. And we're also recording... Yeah, we're recording later in the week, and I know you just came home from work, so I won't keep it for terribly long. You'll just have to fucking... audience, if you didn't get enough, just listen to the episode again. It was a fun one. Let's tune it down. Jake, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on the twitters.com at Mr. Jakey Poo. You can also find me on a podcast, Most Foul, where my wife and I are reading through the Artemis Fowl books. We just released our second episode on the Arctic incident, and... hopefully the third one will be coming out sooner rather than later. And then you can also catch me on Hearts Against Balance, a Kingdom Hearts inspired actual play podcast where I am playing as Seahawk from She-Ra.
Fuck yeah.
And where can we find you, Max?
I am on Twitter at MaxyBajillion. My other podcasts are Pot of Greed, the world's number one and only Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast sponsored by Kappa Corp. We are in the middle of GX Manjame is here. Kronos is here. The only characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. The Ojamas are fucking here. It's minion time. Let's go. That's on Twitter at Poddock Recast. And my other show is called Slappers Only, a video game music showdown podcast. When this episode goes up, our latest episode on The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword will be out. Spoilers, it's a fucking good game. And that's on Twitter at... That's on Twitter at Slappers Only Pod or slappersonlypod.com. And this show, Wow Cool Robot, you go to twitter.com/wowcoolpodcast. Check us out there. Links to our Discord are in this episode description as well as on the Twitter itself. If you want to join and hang out, we've had a lot of people show up lately. It's been fun. We got a Gunpla channel. We got a channel talk about TV shows. You can shoot the shit, hang out with us. It's a fun old time. You can go to Noisepace.xyz to check out this and many, many more shows. It is the year of the podcast, 2021, putting that energy out there. Year of the vaccines, hot girl summer, hot Gundam summer. Jake, I have another question for you.
What's that?
What's that robot of the week?
So I've been watching She-Ra again just to kind of, get some inspiration for Hearts Against. And I've got to say my robot of the week is Emily from She-Ra.
Ooh,
Emily,
a robot is a person.
Emily is just she's Entrapta's pet robot. She is like a big sphere with legs, and
she looks like a Haro.
She kind of looks like a Haro. A Haro who is designed to kill people. Yikes.
Damn, Haro would never do that. Haro's a good boy. Haro's a nice little round man, never would do a crime.
Only eat toast.
Only eat toast. Accused of Edo's toast. I like the taste.
Yeah.
Damn,
Emily's
that's a fucking cool looking robot.
Emily's just a nice friend.
Damn. I like Emily's cool little leggies.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Thanks, Emily. Okay. That will do it for us. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to this podcast. As we always say, in the words of Pole, who's fucking dead on Earth.
Horror is bad.
Wow. Cool robot. Good night. New types.